Please like, comment and subscribe for more terrifying stories. Dudleytown is one of the most infamous abandoned places in New England. Hidden deep inside the woods of Cornwall, Connecticut, it has been called cursed, haunted, forbidden, and doomed. Some people know it as the village of the damned. And according to the legend, anyone who gets too close to Dudleytown doesn't just find ruins, they find something waiting. The story begins long before Connecticut was even a state. According to local legend, the Dudley family curse started in England during the reign of King Henry VIII. A man named Edmund Dudley served the royal court, but after falling out of favor, he was accused of treason and executed. From there, the legend claims the Dudley bloodline was marked. Tragedy, madness, betrayal, and death were said to follow the family wherever they went. Generations later, members of the Dudley family crossed the Atlantic and settled in colonial New England. By the 1700s, several Dudleys had moved into a remote valley in Cornwall, Connecticut. The place was isolated, surrounded by thick forest, steep hills, and rocky land. It was not an easy place to live. The soil was poor, the winters were brutal, the roads were rough, and the community was small enough that everyone knew everyone's suffering. At first, Dudleytown was not a ghost town. It was a real settlement. Families lived there. They farmed, raised children, built homes, and tried to survive in a hard, unforgiving landscape. But over time, the stories began to pile up. People died strangely. Others supposedly went insane. Some vanished from the records. And eventually, Dudleytown became known less as a village and more as a warning. One of the most famous stories involves the Carter family. According to the legend, a man returned home one day to find that his family had been slaughtered. Some versions say the killer was a Native American attacker. Other versions say the details are unclear, changed over time by rumor and retelling. But in almost every version, the event became one more dark chapter in Dudleytown's growing reputation. Then there was the story of madness. Some residents were said to have slowly lost their minds while living in the settlement. One tale claims a woman was found wandering through the woods, completely disoriented, after her husband left her alone in Dudleytown. Another version says she returned from the forest changed forever, unable to explain what she had seen. Whether these accounts were based on real illness, isolation, grief, or pure folklore, they became part of the village's identity. Dudleytown was no longer just unlucky, it was cursed. The land itself seemed to reject people. Farms failed, homes were abandoned, families moved away. By the 1800s, the village was already fading. Nature started taking back the roads, foundations, and stone walls. What had once been a settlement became a shadow beneath the trees. And that is where the haunting legends really began. People who entered the woods around Dudleytown claimed they felt watched, not in the ordinary way, not like an animal hiding in the brush. They described a pressure, a heaviness, a feeling that something unseen had noticed them the moment they crossed into the forest. Some hikers reported sudden drops in temperature. Others said the woods became unnaturally quiet. No birds, no insects, no wind, just silence. The kind of silence that feels deliberate. Then came the stories of voices, whispers between the trees, footsteps following people from behind, a presence moving parallel to them, just out of sight. Some claimed they heard their names spoken from the woods, even when no one else was nearby. Others reported seeing figures standing between the trees, only for them to disappear when approached. The most disturbing stories are not about what people saw, they are about what they felt. Visitors described sudden panic, dread, sadness, or rage. Some said the place made them feel like they were not supposed to leave. Others claimed the forest seemed to confuse them, turning simple paths into loops, making them feel lost, even when they knew exactly where they were. This is where Dudleytown's nickname comes from, the village of the damned. But what exactly is supposed to haunt it? Some say it is the curse of the Dudley family, a supernatural stain carried from England to America, attaching itself to the land and feeding on misfortune. Others say the ghosts are former residents, trapped in the ruins of the settlement that failed them. Some believe the land is haunted by all the suffering that happened there. Disease, poverty, violence, loneliness, and fear. And then there are darker theories. Some paranormal accounts claim Dudleytown is not haunted by human spirits at all. They say something older is in those woods, something that was there before the settlers arrived, something that tolerated them for a while, then pushed them out. That idea is one reason Dudleytown became so famous among ghost hunters. Because unlike a haunted house, Dudleytown is not one building. It is an entire landscape, a dead village swallowed by forest. No windows, no doors, no clean boundary between the living world and whatever might still be there. By the late 20th century, the legends had exploded. Writers, paranormal investigators, thrill seekers, and local teenagers all became obsessed with the place. Stories spread of shadow figures, demonic energy, and people being chased from the woods by invisible forces. Some claimed their equipment failed. Others said they became physically sick. A few described leaving Dudleytown with a feeling they could not shake, as if something had followed them home. But here is where the story becomes complicated. A lot of Dudleytown's most famous legends are difficult to prove. Some historians argue that the curse was exaggerated over time. They point out that many of the deaths and hardships connected to the settlement were not unusual for early New England life. People died young. Mental illness was misunderstood. Farming in rocky Connecticut terrain was extremely difficult. Families moved when land became useless. A remote village disappearing over time was not necessarily supernatural. It was survival. But folklore does not need perfect records to survive. It needs fear. And Dudleytown has plenty of that. Because even if the curse is just a legend, the place itself still feels built for one. The name Dark Entry Forest alone sounds like it was pulled from a ghost story. The trees are dense, the roads are old, the ruins are scattered and easy to miss. And the deeper the story goes, the harder it becomes to separate fact from fear. That may be the true power of Dudleytown. It exists in the space between history and nightmare. Real people lived there. Real families struggled there. Real tragedies became attached to the land. Then time erased the village, leaving only fragments behind. A cellar hole, a stone wall, a name on an old map. And when a place loses its facts, legends rush in to fill the silence. Today, Dudleytown is not an open tourist attraction. The land is privately owned and protected, and trespassing has led to legal trouble for many people who tried to visit. That has only made the legend stronger, because nothing fuels a haunted story like a place you are not allowed to enter. The more inaccessible Dudleytown becomes, the more people wonder what is really hidden there. Is it just an abandoned settlement with a tragic history? Is it a cursed village where one family's dark legacy poisoned the land? Is it a haunted forest filled with the restless dead? Or is Dudleytown terrifying because of something much simpler? Maybe it reminds us that places do not need ghosts to feel haunted. Sometimes all they need is isolation, failure, death, and enough silence for the human mind to start listening. Still, the stories continue. People still whisper about the voices in the woods, the shadows between the trees, the feeling of being watched, the strange dread that settles over the old village like fog. Dudleytown may be abandoned, but legends do not die just because the houses are gone. They grow roots, they spread, they wait in the dark, and somewhere in the forests of Cornwall, Connecticut, the village of the damned still remains, not as a town, not as a home, but as a warning. Some places are forgotten because history moves on. Others are forgotten because something there does not want to be found. And Dudleytown? Dudleytown feels like both.